From rejection to resilience. The day my world turned upside down, it wasn't a gentle nudge, it was a full-blown cataclysm. I stood there, staring at the rejection letter in disbelief, feeling the weight of every door that had ever slammed in my face. Each no echoed in my mind, a cacophony of doubt and despair. But as I sat alone in that dimly lit room, something stirred within me, a quiet defiance. I realized that I couldn't wait for doors to open. I needed to start carving my own path, even if it meant chiseling through walls of doubt and uncertainty with my bare hands. I began gathering tools, not the kind you find in hardware stores but those forged in the fires of resilience. Books became my mentors, and the stories of those who had overcome their own adversities were the blueprints I needed. As I absorbed their wisdom, I crafted a plan, each step a deliberate stride towards a future I could barely imagine. There were days when the walls seemed impenetrable, and nights when the darkness whispered that giving up would be easier. But I had learned to silence those whispers with the mantra, progress over perfection. Slowly, I started seeing cracks forming in the walls around me, small victories that built upon each other. The first project I launched was met with skepticism, but I pushed forward, fueled by the belief that I was building something meaningful. The triumphs began to outshine the failures, and with each new challenge, I felt a growing sense of empowerment. I was no longer defined by the doors that had closed but by the paths I was creating on my own terms. Now, standing at the summit of my journey, I look back at the walls I've torn down and the doors I've created for others. I've learned that every setback was a setup for a comeback, each failure a lesson in disguise. My story isn't just about overcoming obstacles, it's about redefining them. In the end, the greatest triumph was not in reaching the destination but in discovering the strength I never knew I had, the strength to carve my own path through any wall that stood in my way.